Hi everyone, this is For the Love of Comics, and in this video we'll be continuing our celebration of Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons' classic Watchmen by taking a look at the Absolute Watchmen, DC Comics' deluxe of deluxe absolute edition of this great series. If you're interested in a quick introduction / review of this wonderful series, check out my What is Watchmen video linked above. But if not, let's take a closer look at the Absolute Watchmen. Absolute Watchmen is a hardcover oversized edition that comes within a slipcase. The slipcase being completely black except for the Doomsday Clock, a recurring symbol in the series, on the front as well as the back. Like all books in a slipcase, the spine faces outwards, so it slips out backward, revealing Absolute in red at the back with Watchmen in yellow in the front, making Absolute Watchmen, but also keeping the cover of the original collected edition. The hardcover edition is dust jacketed, which slips off quite easily, revealing again a simple black cover with the Doomsday Clock on the front and back, exactly like the slipcase. One of the first things you notice about the Absolute Edition is, of course, that it is oversized. That is, it's quite a bit larger than the original printings and the original collected edition. This becomes automatically impressive as soon as you open and see the changes in the sizes of the panels. This is sturdily bound and nothing fancy. It's not like the Sandman Absolute Edition, for example, that had a lot of embossing, indentations, bumps on the spine and things like that. It's very plain, very stark, which really suits the story that it contains. Opening it, you can see the end papers have started spelling out the name of the book, which is completed in the rear end papers. The inside layout is clean and sober, again, stark, befitting the material. And you get a dedication page before you move on to the story. The Absolute Watchmen collects the original covers of each issue on the left side before the story starts, so you see the cover simultaneously with the first page. It's really wonderful to see the series in such a large and gorgeous format. This oversized format is perfect for the heavy level of detail and Easter eggs and connections and symbols that are scattered and indeed packed into every page and every panel of this book. Here you can see one of the interesting things that the Absolute Watchmen does alongside the recoloring. The comic being read by the character in Watchmen is now presented in a slightly more old-fashioned dotted printing that helps distinguish these panels from the panels of the comic that we are reading. Looking at it from the side, you can see that the regular story has been collected on very white paper, but there is a last section of off-white paper also included in the book. This is the section of extras labeled minutes, where, a play on the Doomsday Clock and minutes of a meeting, I suppose. And it contains incredible amounts of detail, both in the form of stories and write-ups from the author and the artist. The original proposal for Watchmen that Alan Moore submitted to DC Comics is replicated here in its entirety, and you have some of the earliest concept sketches included as well. This proposal is a multi-page pitch which goes character by character in drawing the parallels between the Charlton Comics characters that Watchmen characters were based on, as well as who they would become in this comic. And this offers a fascinating glimpse into the level of detail and the depth and the world building that Alan Moore had already done before writing a single page of this comic. And you get some early glimpses into how these characters looked, some promotional art and pages that were created for marketing, and then perhaps one of the most impressive things in this volume, Alan Moore's original script for the first issue. This is all single-space typing, and this is the text for the first panel. This is the text for the second panel. You can see also the highlights that artist Dave Gibbons put onto the script to indicate to himself where the dialogue was and where important details were. This is not just a physical description of what's in the panel, it's also providing context and drawing connections, sometimes to the very final parts of the story, again giving you a glimpse of exactly how thoroughly this had been conceived by Alan Moore, even from the very first panels. This script is just an amazing glimpse into the minds of one of the hailed geniuses of comic writing, as well as showing you how much Dave Gibbons added and how much Dave Gibbons interpreted, making it a fantastic study of almost perfect collaboration. After the meaty minutes section, we have the second section, which just shows you some promotional art. At the end, you also have this write-up from artist Dave Gibbons. All in all, this is a respectful and terrific tribute to an acknowledged classic. The extras alongside the oversized pages and the good quality paper with the hardcover binding, as well as the recoloring, make it a terrific thing to own for collectors and fans alike.